Welcome, seekers of wisdom and truth, to a journey into the mystical realms of spirituality. Today, we delve into the fascinating story of a deity revered across cultures and ages, Lord Ganesha. This tale is not just an enchanting narrative, but also a profound lesson in spirituality and devotion. In the celestial abode of Mount Kailash, goddess Parvati, preparing for a bath, instructed Nandi, her husband Lord Shiva's loyal bull, to guard the door. However, when Shiva returned, Nandi, owing his primary allegiance to Shiva, allowed him to pass, angering Parvati. She yearned for someone as loyal to her as Nandi was to Shiva. In a moment of divine inspiration, she created a boy from the turmeric paste on her body, breathed life into him and named him Ganesha. The next time Parvati bathed, she appointed Ganesha to guard the door. When Shiva returned and was barred entry by this unfamiliar boy, his fury knew no bounds. After his army failed to subdue Ganesha, Shiva himself fought the boy, severing his head in a fit of rage. On learning of her son's demise, Parvati's wrath threatened to destroy the entire creation. To pacify her, Lord Brahma, the creator, pleaded with her to reconsider. She agreed but set forth two conditions. Ganesha must be brought back to life, and he must be revered before all other gods. Recognizing his mistake, a remorseful Shiva accepted Parvati's conditions. He instructed Brahma to return with the head of the first creature lying with its head facing north. Brahma brought back the head of a mighty elephant, which Shiva placed onto Ganesha's body, reviving him. Shiva declared Ganesha to be his own son too, and elevated him to be the leader of all classes of beings, thus earning him the title of Ganpati. This story, while seemingly a simple myth, holds profound spiritual significance. Parvati represents the Parashakti, the supreme energy, who resides as the Kundalini Shakti in the Muladhara chakra within the human body. The story suggests that when we cleanse ourselves of impurities, the divine automatically graces our lives, as symbolized by Shiva's unannounced arrival. In essence, the birth of Lord Ganesha is not just a tale of divine power and maternal love, but also a lesson in humility, loyalty, and the importance of purification. This story serves as a beacon, guiding spiritual seekers towards the path of enlightenment and inner peace. So, as we navigate our spiritual journey, let us remember and honor Lord Ganesha, the remover of obstacles and the harbinger of wisdom and prosperity.
Nandi, Shiva's bull, who Parvati first sent to guard the door, represents the divine temperament. Nandi is so devoted to Shiva that his every thought is directed to him, and he is able to easily recognize the Lord when he arrives. This shows that the attitude of the spiritual aspirant is what gains access to Devi's, the Kundalini Shakti's abode. One must first develop this attitude of the devotee before hoping to become qualified for the highest treasure of spiritual attainment, which Devi alone grants. After Nandi permitted Shiva to enter, Parvati took the turmeric paste from her own body and with it created Ganesha. Yellow is the color associated with the Muladhara chakra, where the Kundalini resides, and Ganesha is the deity who guards this chakra. Devi needed to create Ganesha, who represents the earthbound awareness, as a shield to protect the divine secret from unripe minds. It is when this awareness begins to turn away from things of the world and toward the divine, as Nandi had, that the great secret is revealed. Shiva is the Lord and Supreme Teacher. Ganesha here represents the ego-bound jiva. When the Lord comes, the jiva, surrounded as it is with the murky cloud of ego, usually doesn't recognize him, and maybe even ends up arguing or fighting with him. Therefore, it is the duty of the Lord, in the form of the Guru, to cut off the head of our ego. So powerful is this ego, however, that at first the Guru's instructions may not work, as Shiva's armies failed to subdue Ganesha. It often requires a tougher approach, but eventually the compassionate Guru in his wisdom finds a way of Ganesha's demise. This indicates that when the ego thus dies, the liberated jiva loses interest in its temporary physical vehicle, the body, and begins to merge into the Supreme. The physical world is here represented by Devi. This impermanent and changeable creation is a form of Devi, to which this body belongs. The unchanging Absolute is Shiva, to which belongs the soul. When the ego dies, the external world, which depends on the ego for its existence, disappears along with it. It is said that if we want to know the secrets of this world, which is a manifestation of Devi, then we must first receive the blessings of Ganesha. Shiva restoring life to Ganesha and replacing his head with an elephant's means that before we can leave the body, the Lord first replaces our small ego with a big or universal ego. This doesn't mean that we become more egoistic. On the contrary, we no longer identify with the limited individual self, but rather with the large universal self. In this way, our life is renewed, becoming one that can truly benefit creation. It is, however, only a functional ego like the one Krishna and Buddha kept. It is like a thin string tying the liberated consciousness to our world, solely for our benefit. Ganesha is given dominion over the Ganas, which is a general term denoting all classes of beings, ranging from insects, animals, and humans to the subtle and celestial beings. These various beings all contribute to the government of the creation. Everything from natural forces like storms and earthquakes to the elemental qualities like fire and water to the functioning of the body's organs and processes. If we don't honor the Ganas, then our every action is a form of thievery, as it is unsanctioned. Therefore, instead of propitiating each Gana in order to receive their blessings, we bow to their Lord Sri Ganesha. By receiving his